little bit far from the house. Oh no. We died.
We got the rear hanging out on the road.
Welcome to Speed Bump Garage. My name is Kent, and on today's episode, we're going to be back to work on the 69 Volkswagen Beetle. This will be episode 3 on the little bug. Quick recap, episode 1, I found the car on Facebook Marketplace. It was a great deal. I went and picked it up, brought it home, kind of looked it over, found a few obvious problems. Episode 2, we addressed some of those problems. We put a new fuel tank in it, pulled the top off the carburetor, washed it out a little bit, tried to fire it, and it did not start. Super bummed we didn't get it running in episode 2. But after we quit filming, I found out the coil did not have power to it. And some of you that saw episode 2 probably know what the problem is. The wiring harness in this car is an absolute disaster. It's a mess. I have no idea what goes where. But we've got to get power to that coil. I'm pretty confident we've got fuel. We get power to that coil. It should run in today's episode. I really hope it will. I'm not going to permanently fix the wiring harness today, but we are going to figure out how we can get some power to that coil. And I also want to pull the carburetor all the way off of it. The boys aren't here right now, but I hope they're home by the time we get it running, and we'll all hop in the little bug and take it for a cruise. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into it. Okay. The reason I want to start with the carburetor this time, I want to be sure that we've got everything as good as we can so we don't run out of time and not be able to get it running today. So I think our best shot is to pull the carburetor off, clean it as good as we can, put it back on, get power to the coil, and I think it will run. And this carburetor is a 2-barrel. It's been adapted to the Volkswagen. It's going to be fairly easy to get off, except there's a bolt. The back bolt back there is really hard to get to. So I'm going to have to set the camera up, try to get those bolts off, and we'll get that carburetor to the bench. Okay, carburetor's off. Let's open it up and see how everything looks. It is pretty dirty. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but quite a bit of stuff down in there. Well, I'm going back together with this. I was going to show you this carburetor is actually a Holley. It says Holley down on the bottom of the bowl. I knew the accelerator pump and all that pretty much looked like a Holly. I've only messed with 4-barrel Hollies, but pretty much the same setup. I got everything pretty clean, ready to go back together. Okay, I got the carburetor pretty clean, all back together. One thing I forgot to mention was this carburetor does have electric choke, so we will need ignition on power to that also, but I think we're ready to go back together. Carburetor's on. And I don't know who designed this 2-barrel kit for Volkswagen, but that back corner bolt on this carburetor is almost impossible to get to. I don't know if they had a tool that I don't have, but I finally got it. I think it's tight enough. It took me about 30 minutes longer than it should have because I couldn't get on that bolt, but carburetor's on it, and we should be ready to tackle our ignition problem. Then we'll be ready to try to fire it. Let's go up front and look at the wiring. For those of you that missed episode 2, the wiring on this car is a disaster, like I said at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to show you what I think is the problem that's keeping us from starting on this car. Here's our mess. We got wire nuts everywhere. This fuse block mounted to a piece of wood. And I've narrowed it down to, I think this fuse here is our ignition on. And you can see we're lighting our test light really good on that side of the fuse, and it's super dim on this side. Barely light it. Now let me go show you what that does on the coil. So this is our ignition on wire that should be going to the coil. See, it's also really dim back here. But look what happens when I plug it into the coil. It doesn't light up at all. There's no power once we load that circuit. It loses all power. So I need to figure out a fix for that. What I think is going on is this ignition circuit on this car is protected by a circuit breaker rather than a fuse. And for now, I've seen there's one more circuit breaker up there. I'm going to swap them around, see if that'll get us power back here, and then we should be ready to fire up. Okay, I swapped these 2 circuit breakers. Let's go ignition on. Hey, we got power. So in theory, that should work. Now, I don't know what that other circuit breaker runs. There's no telling with the way the wiring looks on this, but we're ready to go. I'll set you guys up back a little bit, and I'm gonna try to fire the little bug up. Okay, this is a little more nerve-wracking without the boys here, so if you guys see something on fire, make sure you let me know, and I'll shut it off. The other circuit breaker was for the electric fuel pump. Stand by, I got a fix for that. Back in business, let's try this again. We got fuel. fired right up. Yeah! Car's in neutral. I'm not sure why that wheel's spinning. Success. Now for the real test, will it restart? Yeah! The bug runs! Oh, it don't get much better than that. That thing, carburetor works great, idles, fires up, sounds good. I cannot wait to drive this thing. I'm gonna get it off the lift. Let's go for a ride. Hey, it's going outside under its own power. Brakes work. We got ourselves a hot rod. I'm gonna look it over one more time before we go drive it too far. Dang, look how good it looks. It's kind of dirty, but man, I'm happy to see it outside. And the coolest part, oh yeah, suicide doors. I've still got the door panels off so I can get the door opening situation dialed in. Man, it looks good. Time for a test drive. Oh yeah. What are you doing? He's not used to a little car like this. Come back up here. Come on. Come on. Here, that's your seat. Stay. Gosh. Can't take him anywhere. Here we go. Oh no, I killed it. Uh-oh. There we go. My fault. Oh, it rides not good. Brakes seem to work. All right. doesn't seem to ride great front or back. I'm gonna turn around and run back down the driveway once. Uh-oh. We died. Seemed like we maybe ran out of fuel. Let me see about rigging my electric fuel pump back up. This isn't a great spot to die. We're right on the highway. Ooh, back in business. Maybe. Oh no. Well, I'm gonna have to walk back to the shop and get my jumper wire to make the electric fuel pump work. Apparently it's on there for a reason. Woody, get out of the road. That car died as far down my driveway as you can go without being on the highway, which is quite a ways, but I'm walking back up there and I realized I'm not sure if I explained something good enough. So that car has an electric fuel pump. Rooster's crowing. It has an electric fuel pump and a mechanical fuel pump. The electric fuel pump's where I robbed the ignition circuit breaker from. So we drove down the driveway on just the mechanical, but it sounds like it's out of fuel. I'm guessing the mechanical must not be enough to keep up. So I'm going to rig up the electric to turn back on and get us back to the shop. But another reason is the car's blocking the driveway and the school bus is about to be here. I'll show you the car. The school bus is not going to be able to get the boys with that car sitting right there. So at a minimum, we got to push it out of the way, but I think we can get it back started. Must have been the issue. Seems to be running pretty good now. Whoa, got a little backfire. It seems to have ran out of fuel on the big end there. I'm gonna have to coast in. The electric's still running. Well, I don't know what's going on now. We may have to push it on in. Well, the ignition wire fell off. Looks like this car's gonna be one wiring issue after another. Okay. Let's see how she does this time. Something's whining in the front end. I'm not sure what it is. Third pass. Ready, Woody? Here, sit down. Oh yeah. This thing runs good. It does not ride good. Uh-oh, it died again. Well, the ignition wire fell back off again. I'm gonna put a new end on that wire, get the back seat back in it, and then the boys should be here and we'll take them for a ride. Well, the boys are finally home. They're gonna be excited to go for their first ride.
You got it started?
Yep.
Daddy!
Hey buddy. You wanna ride in the bug?
Yeah! I wanna ride in the front seat.
You guys ready?
Yep. Oh, started right up. Oh yeah.
Let's go for for a cruise. Whoops.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
Dad, will you go fast?
I guess so. Ready?
Yeah.
Pretty fast, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is banging. It must be just because your extra weight's in the back, because it wasn't doing that earlier.
Dad, go fast again. Dad, go fast again. I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah. Keep going fast.
Whoa! You like it?
Yeah. Let's keep this thing forever.
Forever?
Yeah.
You like it that much?
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's keep driving this till we get tired.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
On the road again. I don't know what that noise is.
Are we breaking down there?
No, I'm gonna turn around. We're getting a little bit far from the house. Oh no. We died.
We got the rear hanging out on the road. Come on in.
Well, I don't know what happened now. I got a little overconfident and
Yeah.
got a little too far from the house. Hey Jack, you start walking home and get the mule.
Okay. I'm scared, Dad.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Well, we're stuck and I wanted...
Alright, Jack's coming with the mule, but I think we got it fixed. Maybe. See how far we can get it. Oh, let's our hood open. Now let's try to get it home. We're probably gonna run into Jack with the mule, but we'll tell him to turn around. He went to get our Kawasaki mule to pull us home. But I think it's gonna drive home. We saved ourselves, AJ.
Yeah.
Here's Jack with the mule. He was coming to our rescue. We're gonna put this thing back in the shop till we can address some of our wiring issues. That was another wiring issue that just got us stuck back there. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. We brought the little bug back to life and I'm so excited. Obviously, we've got some wiring issues we need to address since we broke down twice in this video due to wiring, and the last video it didn't start because of the wiring. But anyway, we will fix those and we're going to get this thing reliable and we're going to drive it. And with that being said, I know this car's got a lot of wiring issues, but I don't want to take away from the original builder of this car. The guy built this car completely on his own. He did the mechanical work, he did the paint, he did even the interior. So props to that guy. Oh, and he did the suicide doors and the shaved door handles. The guy was amazing. I couldn't build a car like that and never leave my shop, so he left a little bit to be desired on the wiring end, but I don't want to take away from him. He built a cool little hot rod bug, and I'm proud to own it. I can't wait to get all the kinks worked out of it so my family can enjoy it like he did. But anyway, if you like this sort of thing, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like this video, and maybe leave us a comment down below. You know the deal. We'll catch you on the next one.